Think about it, low-income minorities, immigrants, and youngsters with disabilities frequently face challenges to their education that can feel overwhelming. But often, all they really need is someone to open up a tiny window of opportunity that shines new possibilities into their lives. One reason I welcome any chance to participate on American Graduate Day is that I was personally helped enormously as a fifth grader. I was that low-income minority student, and looking back, I realize even more now what a pivotal role that a group of adult volunteers from a program called Junior Achievement played in my life. And the impact of those volunteers remains with me to this day. Last year, more than 200,000 JA volunteers impacted over 4.4 million K through 12 grade students, just like me, to develop early entrepreneurship and financial literacy skills, helping them to dream big, to reach even higher than their true potential. All day long, we've been listening to compelling panels tell their stories of hardship and triumph. To learn more about Junior Achievement, we're going to listen to just one more voice right now, Selena Martinez.
Freshman year was the first time I was homeless, on my own. My brother was 23 at the time, fresh from the Army. He had been medically discharged for developing schizophrenia. Easter night of 2011, he destroyed the entire house in an attempt to murder my father. The first floor was scrambled, almost as if a tornado was granted entrance in. Every piece of furniture, every window, every technological device, every kitchen appliance, nothing survived, not the truck, not even the fence that was supposed to guard us. My brother was arrested on the spot, and my father sank into a deeper alcoholic depression, leaving my mother heavily traumatized. Being the translator of the family, I missed 1 week of school to handle insurance claims, police reports, and the transfer of my brother to a proper mental health care facility. I had to be the source of strength and reason. But by the end of the week, I grew frustrated of my father hiding behind a liquor bottle, and for the first time challenged his character. Our argument intensified, and he told me at 15 to find another place to live. So with 2 trash bags full of stuff and my backpack full to the rim, I left.
It's a powerful message, and that is what we call a cliffhanger. And it won't surprise you to learn that Selena Martinez triumphed over all of those hardships. And so I want to take a moment now to please welcome the remarkable young woman that you just saw in that clip. Selena Martinez, how are you?
A little overwhelmed by hearing it again. It's been so long since I watched it, so.
I saw you get emotional watching the clip. What went through your mind as you were watching it?
I guess you could say that story, even though I told it a few months ago, it happened 4 years ago. So looking back, so much has been accomplished, so many obstacles that I thought were never going to be surpassed are over now. And I'm here, so it's interesting. Wish I could go back and tell myself it gets easier.
It is amazing to see you 4 years later. What has happened? Give us an update on the cliffhanger. What happened to you during high school?
So freshman year was very complicated. That story actually took place towards the end of my freshman year. So I started staying with different family members, different friends. It became really difficult during the last 2 weeks of May. I was pretty much set on wanting to quit. I didn't want to work as hard as all the other students that were working, if any were at the time. And it just got really difficult, so.
You were traumatized, your family was traumatized. It seems like most people would think the last thing you could concentrate on was school.
It really was the last thing, but even though a lot of people kind of expected it, and especially the people that didn't know what I was going through, I was just another kid at school, it didn't really stop there. I started joining other clubs, and JA kind of came into my life and kind of guided me in a different direction. And I noticed that the more I became involved in school, the less I thought about home. It became easier to deal with the reality, and I started seeing that, you know, some of my dreams were being formed, different skills were being improved. And
how did Junior Achievement play a role in your life? What difference did it make for you then?
Interesting how it came in. They have really good timing, strangely. So towards the end of May, I was already really broken. I was house hopping. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, how I was going to get my grades together, if I was going to be able to do anything at all. Am I just another Hispanic in this community that I'm just going to be lost myself? And basically what happened, I heard a JE speaker come in, and it took place in the auditorium. My teacher was absent, so they moved some of the classes in there, and I think they were talking to like the junior and senior class, so they were giving them tips on like, what are you going to do when you get out of high school, different tips on interviews, different tips on entrepreneurship skills. And while some students weren't listening, these were tips that I kind of needed at the time.
And how did the adult mentoring play out in your life? I know that was really important to me, just to see people in the business world that I hadn't encountered before.
Yes. So fast forwarding from freshman year into like junior, senior year, we started doing things like job shadowing. So I know one of the most recent ones I participated with was AIG and Deloitte. So going into these skyscrapers and seeing these people that like used to be kids like me, coming from places that no one's ever even heard of, like they've never heard their stories, being so successful, it was interesting. It was like an incentive, like, hey, it's possible, you can do this.
And it wasn't just junior achievement. You're being very modest. You were class president, captain of the varsity cheer squad, VP of the National Honor Society, poetry awards, all sorts. How did you even catch your breath and do all these activities?
You make time for it. You figure it out. If you don't want to settle for what you have, you want to do better. And so the only way to do better is to keep adding more and see what you can be great at. And
you were also helping your mom, I know, clean houses during this time, and yet you still managed to find time to mentor other students.
Yes. So whether it was on the weekends or after school, if my mom didn't need help cleaning houses and there was no other side things I could do for money, I started volunteering, giving back to the school that I came from, which was Hamilton Middle School.
And not only are you the first graduate of high school from your family, but you have a stellar college career in front of you. You're a freshman at Bryn Mawr. How's that going?
Yes, so actually my sister did graduate from high school, so going into college, I'll be the first one to actually continue. Being at Bryn Mawr is amazing. So it's way different from any community college I ever thought of that I was going to get to. Going to Bryn Mawr has this support system. It's diverse. There's kids that actually want to learn. And it gives me encouragement because I'm finding the right community.
It's so fabulous. Clearly you're a brilliant student, but had JA not come along, what difference might that have made in your life, do you think?
I think the time that they came in was with this great motivational speech, and they caught me early on. They gave me that drive. So I might have came across them even later with the job shadowing field trips that we had, but it started early, and I think that's what helped me really kick off my academic career in high school.
Well, that's fantastic. What a great story you have to tell. Thank you so much for being such an inspiration to others as well. And good luck at Bryn Mawr.
Thank you.
All right, terrific. Well, you know, we all have the opportunity to make a real difference in the lives of people like Selena. So you can text or email us or join us on Facebook to learn more and become an American Graduate Day champion. Join the conversation and share your story.